The past is filled with shocking secrets that were buried for centuries, and some of history's darkest truths are rarely discussed. In this video, we uncover 10 disturbing historical facts that reveal hidden events, forgotten stories, and mysteries you were never taught. Stay until the end because one of these secrets changes how you see history forever. The way we understand history is often shaped by what gets recorded, what gets preserved, and what gets taught. But behind the famous battles, legendary rulers, and celebrated achievements are stories filled with betrayal, corruption, strange discoveries, and events that many people would rather forget. Throughout history, powerful kingdoms and influential figures have controlled the stories passed down to future generations. Some events were minimized, some were ignored, and others disappeared into the shadows. The truth is that history is not only about victories and heroes, it is also about the mistakes, tragedies, and mysteries that shape the world we live in today. There is a hidden side of history that most people never discover, and later in this video, we will reveal one of the most unsettling examples of how the past was rewritten. The first dark chapter begins with one of the most mysterious civilizations in ancient history, the disappearance of entire societies. Ancient civilizations have left behind incredible monuments, advanced technologies, and unanswered questions. But what happened when these civilizations suddenly declined? One of the most fascinating examples is the mysterious collapse of the Maya civilization. For years, many people believed the Maya simply vanished, but the reality is far more complicated. The Maya built extraordinary cities, developed advanced calendars, and created impressive systems of mathematics and astronomy. Yet many of their great cities experienced dramatic population declines. Researchers believe several factors contributed to this collapse, including environmental changes, droughts, warfare, and political instability. The mystery remains because the Maya did not disappear completely. Their descendants still exist today, carrying traditions and languages that survived for generations. The story teaches us something important. Civilizations we consider powerful and permanent can fall apart faster than anyone expects. The second dark fact takes us to the world of ancient rulers, where power often came with cruelty. Many famous leaders are remembered for their achievements, but their methods were sometimes far darker than history books suggest. Ancient empires were frequently built through conquest, forced labor, and fear. Behind impressive monuments were often thousands of workers who suffered under harsh conditions. While rulers celebrated their greatness, ordinary people paid the price. One example can be found in the construction of ancient monuments. These structures are often viewed as symbols of human achievement, but they also raise questions about the lives of the people who built them. Were they willing workers, forced laborers, or a mixture of both? The answer depends on the civilization and time period, but one thing is clear: greatness often had a hidden cost. Another forgotten part of history involves the role of propaganda. Throughout time, rulers understood that controlling information meant controlling how future generations would remember them. Kings, emperors, and governments often shaped their public image by destroying records, changing stories, or portraying enemies as monsters. This means that some historical accounts must be examined carefully because they were written by people with their own goals and biases. Anyways, do you know that there is a thing that nobody talks about when studying ancient history? The people who recorded history were often connected to power, and we will explore how that affected the stories that survived. One of the darkest examples of hidden history comes from forgotten human tragedies. Many disasters and conflicts were ignored because acknowledging them would damage reputations or challenge powerful groups. For centuries, certain events were pushed aside because they were uncomfortable. Victims were forgotten, witnesses were silenced, and entire communities struggled to have their stories recognized. Modern historians continue searching through documents, artifacts, and forgotten archives to uncover these lost chapters. History is not just a collection of dates and names. It is made of real people who experienced fear, ambition, suffering, and survival. Another fascinating mystery involves ancient technologies that seem far ahead of their time. Across the world, archaeologists have discovered objects and structures that challenge our understanding of the past. From complex engineering techniques to unusual inventions, these discoveries prove that ancient societies were often more advanced than people assume. However, they also create mysteries that researchers continue investigating today. The ancient world was not simple or primitive. Many civilizations possessed knowledge that disappeared, evolved, or was replaced over time. Sometimes the greatest mysteries are not about what we know, but about what we have lost. Dark history also reveals the dangers of believing everything we hear. Legends, myths, and historical accounts can become mixed together over centuries, creating stories that are difficult to separate from reality. Some famous historical figures have been transformed into heroes or villains, depending on who tells the story. Their true actions may be much more complicated than the simple versions we learn. This is why historians continue analyzing evidence, questioning old assumptions, and searching for new information. Every discovery has the potential to change what we think we know. One of the most disturbing patterns throughout history is the disappearance of voices. Entire groups of people have been left out of traditional narratives, not because they were unimportant, but because their experiences were not recorded by those in power. Women, workers, indigenous communities, and ordinary citizens often played major roles in historical events, but received little recognition. Today, historians are working to recover these missing perspectives and create a more complete picture of the past. The final lesson from these dark historical facts is that history is never as simple as it appears. Behind every famous event is a deeper story, and behind every powerful figure are decisions, consequences, and forgotten details. The past contains incredible achievements, but it also contains mistakes, tragedies, and mysteries that deserve to be remembered. By exploring these hidden chapters, we gain a better understanding of humanity and the world we inherited. These forgotten stories remind us that history is not just about what happened. It is about why it happened, who was affected, and what lessons remain for future generations.